Hi, welcome to the garden today, and today we're going to be, figuring out what happens to this blueberry bush. Now, this blueberry bush I bought back in the spring, it was about yay tall and grew really well. It was really healthy, and 2 or 3, or I guess 4 or 5 days ago now, I came out to water it, and I think this limb right here was kind of dead. Leaves were brown. Before, everything looked good, had good color, nice dark green, had some new growth to it. Everything looked fine, didn't have any of the red off color. Everything looked okay. Well, 2 days later I come back out and it looks like this. Now, it wasn't quite as brown as this, but pretty much so. I think there was 1 or 2 green leaves up here, and that was it. And you go, well, what happened? And I was kind of trying to figure it out a little bit. I kind of had an idea. So one night, couldn't sleep that night, got thinking about this, so I got up and Googled on the computer and asked, what happens when your blueberry bush leaves turn brown overnight? And it might have been 2 days, but and it still shows some green on it, but it's dead. It just doesn't know it yet. And I got a lot of weird answers. Some people said, well, you must have done something different. I thought, no. And I was just reading what other people had wrote. And I thought, no, that's not the deal, because on my particular one, I watered it the same, I fertilized it the same. I had been pushing just a little bit with the fertilizer. I thought, well, maybe, but I thought, but these all here look fine. I mean, they have some, and this one looked better than any of those, okay? And this one looks bad, but it's been looking bad for a while. And so I thought, well, and it was my healthiest looking plant. So I thought, well, and usually if it's going to be a salt burn from fertilizer, it's going to be on the tips of the leaves, and they're going to burn just the tips of them, not the whole leaf. And I'd been putting down, my upgrade was I was fertilized with a tablespoon of Miracle-Gro and a tablespoon of ammonium sulfate. So it wasn't anything radical. I didn't put a cup of fertilizer down and think, oh crud, I burned something. And another person, they were saying, well, it's pH problems. I thought, oh, no, pH problems doesn't turn them brown. It turns them reddish and red spots and things of that nature. Knew it wasn't that. And one person, like I say, said that they said, well, you must have done something radically different. I thought, no, I've been doing the same thing all year. But I remember from studying in the past that there was another disease. I couldn't remember the name of it and didn't know for sure if they could, survive it or what you would do with it. So I did finally find one from the University of Carolina, from North Carolina. And I'm going to put that, if I remember, I'm going to put that in the link. And there is a disease that can happen, and it's called Stem Blight. And basically what happens is it's a blight, kind of like fire blight, but it's on blueberries. And it clogs up the vascular system, and it kind of dies overnight, kind of like your fire blight will on pears, on your stone fruit, or on pear trees, pears and apples, is it just looks like, something has killed it. And if you notice, these leaves are still on it. They're still attached, and by the way, the moisture level on this thing was fine the whole time. And it's new soil, so it's not going to be any type of root rot. Some people say, we had root rot. Well, again, root rot, the plant won't look healthy one day and die the next because of root rot. It's a slower death. And one thing they did say, and I have not done this yet, so we're going to see if it actually works. They said if you'll look, and I don't see it. Well, actually, they look pretty good. They're saying you can see in the stem, it will look dead or whatever. I don't see that, but I mean, the plant's basically going to die. Now I'm going to cut it back because I don't see that. And it also said that it tends to happen on plants that's 1 to 2 years old. So that fits that too. I was hoping it would show the brown part in the middle. But basically, it still has good moisture. I didn't water it last time, which means it's not taking any water. But when they turn brown like this, the leaves aren't coming back. I'm taking it, the plant's dead. They said that it would sometime enter in because of a wound or something. That wasn't in my case, but it could have been maybe I fertilized a little bit too much. pushed it just a little bit too much. Not so much that it hurt the plant, but the fact that it gave new growth and it might come in through the new growth. That's what can happen with the fire blight on pears. But anyway, it didn't make it. It's not a whole lot we can do about it, and maybe it'll be better next time. The others look fine. I will take this off and move it off size. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you next time.